All is well, bro. It's good to see you, man. I'm just getting over being sick. I'm almost over the hump. Like, it was crazy. I got crazy sick for like 2, 3 days. Then almost all of it went away, but then my voice left me for like 5 days. So my voice and my throat starting to come back. Like my throat has been a little raspy. I've been coughing, and then my voice has just been gone. It's been crazy, but we back at it, bro. We at regular scheduled programming. Hope you've been good, man. Shout outs beer, shout outs GTA. Absolutely GTA. Um I don't know if it's if I should take that seriously. It's all about exfoliating your skin, man. Scrape the dead skin off your facial area. Get a comb, get some African black soap, and scrub that beard. Get all the follicles, get all the dead skin off that, and then just keep it moisturized, man. I think the easiest way for hair growth is coconut oil and African black castor oil. You put castor oil and coconut oil in your beard to keep it glistening, and then you scrape all the dead skin off. That oil will moisturize the hair. It'll start shooting out like a chia pet. Yeah, I'm almost 100% beard. It's just my voice is coming back. Botana oil is really good. It's just hard to with botana oil, you can't leave it in your beard. Like the way botana oil works is like right when you come out of the shower and your beard is moist. And this works the same thing with your scalp. You put the botana oil in, you cake it in there as much as possible, but then you have to let it sit for like an hour. So you got to kind of sit around the house for an hour, and then you got to wash it out. So it's not like a conditioner where like you put it in your hair and you leave it there all day. So it's kind of tedious to do that because unless it's like a Saturday or something, you don't really got an hour to screw around with. You know what I'm saying? So if you got the hour to do it, jump in the shower or put hot water on your beard, then throw the botana oil on there for an hour. But to be honest, the botana oil isn't going to stimulate growth more than the castor oil and coconut oil. So in my opinion, you go to like a Sally's Beauty Supply and you pick up a little vial of coconut oil and castor oil for like $1, and for $2, and then you get a nice comb so that you can put soap on your beard and scrape it. Like once you exfoliate the beard, you throw both oils, you mix them together, put them in your beard, and wear that for the rest of the day. You do that every day, man, your beard will be back plush in less than a week. Ignore argan oil, man. Honestly, botana oil is just kind of like extra credit. Coconut oil, castor oil, end of story. And they smell the best. Yeah, I'm good, bro. Just at work. Dang, bro. 5:22 a.m. Dang. Well, I hope work is going good, man. What y'all send of the day, man? Off non highness 6 blue. Friday send of the day, Jacques Faith Le Loden. We got a lot of fragrances. I still got to do that full Tot Ibre set, but I just recently was wearing and doing my review on Born to Stand Out. Hey, Born to Stand Out is a very nice house. I don't know how the rest of their fragrances are, but I wore Mary Jane yesterday. Today I wore Sin and Pleasure, and those fragrances are phenomenal. Absolutely 10 out of, I gave them both 10 out of 10s on my channel, which is extremely rare. So after those two fragrances, I'm getting the full Discovery set, no question. Born to Stand Out is crazy good. The thing about argan oil is it's not like argan oil is bad. It's just a waste of time. Like the coconut oil is going to give you your shine and your moisturizer. The castor oil is going to stimulate the growth. You just don't need argan oil. Same reason you don't really need botana oil. The thing about botana oil is you're just doing more than above average conditioning. But the conditioning isn't really what stimulates the growth. It's just what maintains quality hair. So the castor oil is really where the money's at. as far as stimulating growth. Doing all that extra stuff is just like, why? Not only that, but argan oil doesn't even smell good. When you put coconut oil and castor oil together, that is the best smelling beard oil money can buy. And you could get that for like $2. When you start talking about argan and botana, that's when the price starts going up for virtually nothing else. Now, botana oil smells phenomenal, but you don't need it. A lot of people want to look cool and feel cool. If you just want to grow your beard, bro, it'll cost you $2. McGreevy, Marge today. Okay. Ahmed Al McGreevy. Okay, word. I think I'm making a concoction of lavender oil, peppermint oil, coconut, almond, Jamaican black castor oil will do. That's what I use every day. Again, you know, I would disregard the peppermint oil simply because peppermint is an acidic chemical. When they start talking about aloe vera and peppermint and there's another one. Aloe vera, peppermint, and those two I know for sure are not alkaline-based products, so they will actually stunt hair growth. They will condition, but because they're synthetics and they're acid-based, they will F up hair growth. But everything else in there, you could do lavender oil. It's not going to do anything other than affect smell. Coconut, almond, and Jamaican, again, coconut and almond is really just conditioner, but it's non-acidic. It's basic, it's alkaline. So honestly, coconut oil is the number one like nutrients for the beard. Castor oil is the growth. Yeah, so if you did like lavender, coconut almond, Jamaican black castor oil, you'd have a phenomenal beard oil. GTA is trolling at this point. What's up, Henry? What up, Joel? Scent of the day for me today was Teriyaki Intense. Teriyaki Intense. This was actually my first wearing today of Teriyaki Intense. I've smelled it a lot, but I haven't wore it yet. Today was like a super cold, windy, rainy day. And honestly, I sprayed this 4 times and it went 12 hours. Some of the best performance on a clone I have seen in a long time. Yeah, for sure, Beard. What's your top 3 colognes around the $100 price range? Good and affordable. Well, I mean, I'm going to assume you mean affordable if it's $100 or less because you named the price. I hate top 3s, Seth, to be honest with you, man. I mean, does it look like I have a top 3? Everything up here is top 3 material, in my opinion, except for that top shelf. This top shelf is just for you guys. Like, all these fragrances up here are being given away to subscribers. In fact, this is what we're giving away this week. 120 ml of linen vetiver. But yeah, I'm not going to say a top 3. Let's make the question more specific, Seth. Let's say you give me your age and what the occasion is for the fragrance, and I will tell you what you should buy under $100. How about that? So you could say like, I'm 16 and I want a date night fragrance, and then I'll give you some answers. But top 3s, I have a lot of top 3s. Strongest fragrance I have is probably, honestly, Teriyaki Intense might be up there because this went 12 hours and I stopped clocking. Teriyaki Intense, easily one of the strongest. Off Non-Supremacy Collector's Edition. Oud for Glory, extremely strong. Bentley for Men Intense, super strong. Peugeot 1, super strong. Milestone, super strong. I mean, I got a lot of monsters. Zanzibar, super strong. But yeah, Teriyaki Intense might be a contender for longest lasting fragrance I own. Just got my Bulgari. I apologize, guys. My voice is virtually gone. What was the comment about Bulgari? Just got my Bulgari 2 days ago and it smells great. Oh, Assault, did you get Man in Black? And if so, did you get it based off this channel? Let me know why you got it, how you learned about it, and if it's this one. I'd love to know. And how much did you get it for? Well, yeah, but no, Grief, the reason it's a troll is because it doesn't matter how interested you are in it. Like, you already were given some solid answers and you want other alternative answers. Like, why would you move from castor oil and coconut oil to onions? Like, you already have a good answer. You're almost like looking for, like, there's just no reason to get into that. Like, you're not putting oil in you're not putting onions in your beard. Like, let's just keep it real. What is a really good green, fresh fragrance under? See, this is a good specific question. Seth, ask me something like this. What is a really good green, fresh fragrance under 150 besides Le Beau Paradise Garden? Paradise Garden is actually not a great green. It's a synthetic green. It's a great fragrance, but when you say green fragrance, I think you mean green elements like pine, outdoor green, like actual earthy green, not synthetic candy apple green. Candy apple green is like Coach Green, Paradise Garden, Night Vision, stuff like that. So like the best green fragrance that I've been rocking with lately, surprisingly, is a tie between Acqua di Gio Armani Eau de Parfum. The difference between Eau de Parfum and Eau de Toilette and Profumo and Profondo is the Eau de Parfum is the only Acqua di Gio that has like a much richer green note. In fact, it smells just like Acqua di Gio from everything else, you know, marine aquatic on patchouli and vetiver, but there's an extremely heavy green, earthy green note of some sort on here with citrus. And so this is an incredible long-lasting green fragrance, but something I like just a little bit more than it as of like literally right now is Linsumi by Lalique. This is a more modern take on Dior's Eau Sauvage that is less fougere and more modern. I think they use pine needles or something in this. This is an insane green. If you can actually find this, this is monstrously good. Like, that's probably the best green I'm wearing right now currently. I tried YSL myself at Macy's today. I really liked it. The best of anything there, but it seems similar but different to Altair. There's no way that smells like Altair. Altair-ish? They're not that close though, man, to me. I'll say this, Joe, and this might not be helpful at all, but I'm just going to kind of throw it out there boomerang style. To me, YSL Myself is the worst fragrance in the YSL line. By the way, guys, top right corner, hit the button, like the video. YouTube will dump more people in here talking about fragrance. It's for you, not me. Yeah, man. I mean, you guys, I'm like a broken record. I say this all the time. Best YSL fragrances: L'Homme, La Nuit de l'Homme, Tuxedo, Y, and then Myself. Myself is a good fragrance, but it doesn't hold a candle next to L'Homme, La Nuit de l'Homme, Tuxedo, and Y. Altair is a good fragrance, but I don't think you go with Myself to get Altair. Rocking Fakar Black right now. YSLY EDP, very nice. Not limited on price, just something that sticks to you all day. I'm 39 and looking for just a few daily wears. So now let me go back to your question to see if there was a season base. Top 3 colognes under whatever price point. Okay. Daily wears. Okay. So for $100 right now, this is a steal. Tom Ford's Grey Vetiver Eau de Parfum. You can get this for $100 right now, 100 ml, just about anywhere. Amazing everyday wear. To me, best office fragrance of all time, but it doesn't matter. Outside the office, this is extremely upscale, rich man casual. Probably the best, cleanest smelling fragrance of all time. It goes in my top 5 best fragrances of all, not best in my collection, but my preferential best fragrance. And for that price, that's absolutely insane. Obviously, I think this is just something that, as common as it is, it just, there's no reason not to have this fragrance in 2025 in your fragrance collection, because it's the most complimented fragrance of all time. It wins 99% of every one of its street battles in terms of compliments from women, and that's Versace Eros EDT. For $35 right now, you can get a 100 ml bottle. So that to me is like no need to think about it. Get 100 ml of this for $35. You will have one of the best designer fragrance of all time. You will get the most compliments with this fragrance. It's fresh, yet it's vanillic, so it can double as date night, and it's extremely fresh, so it kind of covers your Bleu de Chanel-ish vibe. Great casual everyday wear, but also can go like casual upscale date night. One of the highest complimented fragrances of all time, and for $35 for 100 ml of the best designer fragrance money can buy. This isn't even really my tea. I'm going to be honest with you. I wear a lot other fragrances more than this, but if I had to consolidate my collection into like 20 fragrances, this has to go in it, just because the compliment factor is so high. And it's such an unbiased fragrance. You don't have to be a fan of a particular note. It's just got universal appeal, and it's got niche quality to it in terms of like the gravity and the pull. So, I mean, I just think for $35, you're getting a fragrance that pretty much beats out most $100 fragrances in the compliment space. As a 40-year-old, this is a great collection right here. Vetiver Sensual. You can get this for $70, $80, 120 ml. You will have one of the most upscale, casual, playful fragrances. It's not playful like Instant Crush. It's got more nuts to it. It's a much more masculine fragrance. I think this is a sweet spot fragrance for a 40-year-old. The fact that you can get this for 70, 80 bucks for 120 ml, it's invigorating, it's uplifting. It's a vetiver bomb, but it's also got amber and fruits up top, mostly like lime. This is an everyday upscale wear for you. This is an everyday upscale wear for you. So 170 right here. And then obviously like a good date night fragrance. So this could double as a fresh and date night fragrance. Even something like Bulgari Man in Black is going to give you like a Prada Luna Rosa black feel, a black orchid feel. It's like black orchid without the sweet orchid note at all. It's just got the dark, mysterious, slightly sweet tuxedo feel. Not YSL tuxedo, like actually wearing a black tux. You can get 100 ml of Bulgari's Man in Black right now. I think I paid 70 for this. So 70 bucks for 100 ml, best date night / formal fragrance out there. It's seductive, it's dark, and it's not even like, it's fresh dark. It's one of the freshest dark fragrances, but it's one of the best patchouli vetiver fragrances out there. And if you like Prada Luna Rosa Black, it kills it. If you like Tom Ford Black Orchid, it pretty much kills it. This is just, oh my gosh. Those three right there would serve you so well, it's not even funny. So for like 260 bucks, you can get all three of those fragrances. And dude, it'll be hard pressed for anybody to mess with you in just those three fragrances alone. 4 fragrances actually. Versace Eros EDT, Mancera's Vetiver Sensual, Bulgari's Man in Black, and Tom Ford's Grey Vetiver Eau de Parfum. I love Burberry Hero. I'm not a big fan of Burberry Hero, but I'm a big fan of Burberry Hero Parfum. The new parfum they just released in 2024 is great. However, it smells exactly like Dolce & Gabbana K, Eau de Toilette, and Eau de Parfum. So you get either or, and since Burberry Hero is the newest fragrance, it's going to be more expensive. So from a cost standpoint, until Burberry Hero chills out, I would go Dolce & Gabbana K because they smell the exact same. However, Burberry Hero Parfum over Eau de Toilette, Eau de Parfum all day long. Smells way more upscale. Yes, Bulgari Man in Black, and got its suggestion from here, and it was 100 ml, I believe, for 110. 110's still a great fragrance. Yeah, you'll love it, Assault. You'll absolutely love it, man. I'm glad you picked that up, man. I'm glad you'll have a fragrance not a lot of people will have. What's another cologne compared to Versace? Similar to Eros. Well, the main basis of this fragrance is mint, lavender, green apple, and vanilla. So, any vanillic fragrance that has mint up top is going to be similar to this. I'm going to be honest, for 35 bucks, 100 ml, you really should not be looking for an alternative to Eros. Like, if this fragrance costed like 70, 80 bucks, then yeah, I think it would make sense to look for alternatives. But the fact that you can get this today in 2025 for so cheap, like, it beats out all the other designer fragrances in its category. There's just no reason why you should be shopping for something else. Another fragrance similar to it, but again, it doesn't beat it out, is Zanzibar. Is in the realm of the vanillic touch, lacking the mint and lavender. Mont Blanc Presence is in the wheelhouse of it. But yeah, man, I mean, if you're searching for an alternative to Eros, something's wrong with you, because for 35 bucks, 100 ml, let that fragrance cover that entire fresh and date night category for you, and start picking another fragrance for a different category, like dark date night or nightlife or upscale or green, or like just going in a different category altogether. Just getting into it, bro. I'm not very knowledgeable, so excuse me for my lacking of specifics. I like sweetness. I recently bought Mercedes-Benz The Move. That's about all I got for you. Yeah, look into those 4 fragrances I showed you, because they're all below your actual price range, and those are like the most upscale you can possibly get. Mercedes-Benz Intense, which you can find at Ross, TJ Maxx, Burlington, is another phenomenal buy. A lot of people call it a clone of Creed's Bois de Portugal. You can get Mercedes-Benz right now, 100 ml or even a 200 ml for like $30. So Mercedes-Benz Intense, Mercedes-Benz OG regular, the clear bottle is great, but the Intense will give you the more 10-hour plus performance. So definitely look into that if you're into Mercedes-Benz. Hey, bro, wish we hit 20 likes on that community post last night. Don't worry, man. Guys, we're still going to be giving away the Linen Vetiver 120 ml. I'm just not giving it away right this moment because we only got to 11 likes today on the community post. So I'm just going to wait a little bit. But it will still be given away. And matter of fact, most of these fragrances up here will be given away as well to the community. So don't worry. I'm going to do one of the biggest fragrance giveaways of all time. I'm just getting all my shipping materials ready so that right when I hold the contest, all the fragrances go out within the same week of but I want to design a contest where at least 10 to 20 people in my community win. I think that would be really cool. Anytime you have like thousands of people in the community and one person wins, nobody wants to sign up for that. But if you know there's going to be like 10, 20 winners, people will sign up for that. So I'm going to get rid of a lot of these fragrances. I'm going to give away the box. We're going to give away some niche. It's going to be a fun time. I definitely like myself Le Parfum better than the EDP. Okay. What up, Jackson? Why EDP grows on you. Wasn't crazy for it at first. You know, YSOY is a good fragrance. It just, YSOY is a good fragrance. It's just not anything to write home about. But a lot of the young people really gravitate towards it. So like if you're 20 and below, like most 20-year-olds and below that shop for fragrances have a bottle of YSL EDP. As you get older, it feels a little bit more generic, you know. You'll start to lean towards Tuxedo and La Nuit de l'Homme because they're just more versatile. But it's still a great fragrance. One of the better blues on the designer market. Yeah, I mean, I think incredible blues right now is Narciso Rodriguez Blue Noir Le Parfum for $50, 100 ml. You cannot beat that. Blue de Chanel meets Dior Homme Intense. Absolutely fire combo. Carolina Herrera Cobalt, incredible blue. Ferragamo, Salvatore Ferragamo's Aqua Essential, incredible blue. Club de Nuit, iconic, and Bleu de Chanel, obviously, incredible blues. You know. What's poppin', Kicks? Good to see you, bro. Scent of the day, Dapper Fragrances is inspired by Fulton and Rourke Cali Ocho. Salute. Absolutely, Seth. I hope that was helpful. Bro, I was in the drugstore yesterday and they were scamming, charging $182 for Aero CDT. Yeah, you were in the wrong store, man. Run out of there. Does it really beat Black Orchid? Well, that's a subjective claim, right? Because if a lot of men who try Black Orchid don't like Black Orchid because the orchid note is too sweet. They love the dark mysteriousness of it. They love the patchouli. They love the cacao. You know what I'm saying? They love the vetiver, but they don't like the orchid. They think the orchid is too sweet, too powdery, too dense. And so from that standpoint, Bulgari Man in Black is a better fragrance because it gives you everything that Black Orchid provides, but it eliminates the orchid note. So you get the richness, you get the dark mysterious, you get the sweet, you get the cacao feel, even though there's not cacao in it. You get the velvety, cakey patchouli-ness, you know, the chocolate cakey patchouli. You get the vetiver. It's really upscale. The cost on it is much cheaper than Tom Ford Black Orchid. So from that standpoint, if you're not a big orchid lover, this absolutely is better than Black Orchid. But if you want a more signature fragrance and you can handle the orchid, then most people that can prefer Black Orchid would say that it's slightly better than this, only for the reason that it has the orchid note, makes it more signature. There's nothing else in Black Orchid that this doesn't have. So it's a preference thing. It's not a unanimous black and white, either is better than the other. But from a preference standpoint, if you don't like the orchid note, Bulgari Man in Black is a better fragrance. If you prefer the orchid note, Black Orchid is better. I actually like this fragrance more than Black Orchid, and that's Zara Man. Zara Man is cloning Black Orchid, but it's slightly fresher with a little less emphasis on the, it's still Black Orchided out, but they made it a touch fresher, which makes it more versatile. And it smells exactly like Black Orchid by like 95%, 10 hours plus, 12 hours plus fragrance. For $40, there's absolutely no need to buy Tom Ford Black Orchid EDP. I actually prefer this over Black Orchid EDP. So even if you prefer Black Orchid, go with Zara Man on Triple Traders. I think it's 35 bucks. I'm late to the chat. What fragrance was you talking about? Hopefully somebody answered that for you in chat. Do you have any Nishane fragrances? I have Hachivat and I have 1,000 Silent Ways. Um, I wouldn't necessarily say I have a favorite yet from Nishane because I've only smelled like 3 fragrances from the house. I love the fragrances I've tried. I've also tried Ani, Ani, oh, and Wulong Cha. I think Wulong Cha is Nishane. Wulong Cha is phenomenal as well. So I don't really think I have the authority to say what's the best fragrance from Nishane, but Hachivat, Wulong Cha, Ani is cool, but I wouldn't buy a bottle of it. And A Thousand Silent Ways is really nice as well. Hey, you was killing it on that recent live stream with 3 other fragrance influencers. Thank you, brother. Yeah, it was really good insight. For those of you who missed that, look on the community post. I'm also reposting a replay of that live stream. I just stripped it today. So I'll be reposting that entire 6-person panel discussion. We were talking about making a valid case for clones and niche fragrances. He put me on the side of clone, I think just for clickbait, you know what I'm saying? Just to make it interesting. But the reality is my niche game is, I wouldn't call it impeccable, but I own the original fragrance of all of my clones, which are chasing niche fragrances. So in theory, I've put my nose to more niche fragrances than clones, period. So I could have really been on either side of the panel. I'm one of these guys where you'll almost never see me review a clone fragrance without a niche fragrance right next to it that it's cloning to see how close it is. So I'm a little bit different in that regard. I don't just buy clones and not know what the original smells like. I want to know what the original smells like because people want to know. So, you know, I have hundreds of decants, but nonetheless, I don't care. I'll represent clones all day long. I don't like Eros. My brother is older and he loves it. I don't like the sweet. That's fair. I think in the sweet category, it's one of the least sweet fragrances. I mean, especially if you look at something like Jean Paul Gaultier, like all those fragrances are sweeter than Eros. If you don't like sweet, then get the Eros Parfum instead of the EDT and EDP, and I think that might change your mind. You might really like it. How is Myriad from Louis Vuitton? I haven't tried it yet. The only fragrances I've tried from LV at this point is Imagination, L'Immensité, Pacific Chill, Meteor, Ombre Nomad, Matiere Nights or whatever. There's one other one I'm forgetting, but you know, all the tropical fragrances. What's the best red tobacco clone? Any of them. Every red tobacco clone smells the exact same. I personally hate red tobacco, but to me, one fragrance that gave red tobacco hope for me, smells better than Mancera's red tobacco, is Prada Luna Rosa Le Parfum, the red top bottle. It's a much better take on the red tobacco DNA. Red tobacco to me it's so weird. Men love red tobacco. Women don't love smelling red tobacco on men. I've seen a lot of surveys of women critiquing red tobacco. You got to be careful in FragCom. We do this a lot. Men will say, this is a lady killer fragrance, or this is the best date night fragrance, or this is a really good fragrance. But that's how they feel. People who smell it on them might not feel that way. It's important you battle test your fragrances to see what the response is, to see if, are you wearing a fragrance that you don't really get compliments on? That's why I love somebody like Equality Fragrance. He gives a compliment factor rating to every fragrance. And a lot of times he will say, I don't get very many compliments for this, but it's still an amazing fragrance. Okay, well, that's great because that lets me know you think it's great, but it's not really giving you a lot of feedback from the crowd. Red tobacco, I think, is one of those fragrances where a lot of men swear by it, but they're rarely getting compliments from women on it. There's nothing wrong with that, but in my experience, a lot of men wear red tobacco as kind of an opposite sex attracting fragrance, and only a certain type of woman likes red tobacco. The general consensus is that no one's getting compliments wearing red tobacco very much from women. Um, with that being said, I know a lot of men that have red tobacco and love red tobacco and wear red tobacco. And I've even seen some guys say, well, yeah, I do get compliments from my girl wearing red tobacco. But there's not an overwhelming amount of evidence to support the fact that you're going to get compliments from the opposite sex wearing red tobacco. I personally would give Prada Luna Rosa Le Parfum, the red top bottle, a shot over red tobacco because it is way smoother and it is way more intricate and dimensional than red tobacco. Red tobacco is fairly linear. With that being said, I think every clone of red tobacco is about 90% close to red tobacco. So you should just spend the cheapest amount of money on it. It's such an easy DNA to clone. What is the, yeah, absolutely, Seth, anytime. Would you know how LV Imagination smells like? Is it worth picking up? If you ask my guy, fragrance connoisseur, he would tell you Imagination is absolutely worth picking up. And many people would say Imagination is worth picking up as well. However, when you buy fragrances, if it isn't common for you to spend $300 on a fragrance, Imagination is not worth picking up. Because it is such a playful fragrance that you're just going to get bored of it really quick if it's all you're wearing simply because you paid a lot of money for it and you feel like you got to wear it. There are so many fragrances that nail the Imagination DNA. Yaman Lail makes a great clone. To me, the best clone I've come across in recent times is Sahib Intense. This gets me all the way there, 95+% close. Sahib Intense. You don't even, guys, again, I apologize for the coughing tonight. I'm getting over being sick. You don't even have to go the Imagination route. You can go Sahib Intense for Imagination. You can go Bulgari Tiger DNA, so Tarathi Blue. I got this for $11. This is an incredible, about 90% rendition of Bulgari Tiger, which is essentially Imagination, just a little bit more ramp up on particular fruits. But these are all aquatic fruit-based fragrances. So this would nail that DNA for sure as well. So yeah, take that with a grain of salt. I don't think Imagination is worth the money unless you always shop niche and spending $300 isn't that big of a deal to you. Then Imagination is absolutely worth picking up because in that category, it's a fragrance you'll wear all the time. Outdoors, pool party, yacht club, by the beach, casual, everyday, upscale fragrance. It's got a lot of depth. It's got great transition. It's got longevity. But if that's like your one purchase where you're going to spend a lot of money for, totally not worth it. It's not going to do, it's going to tire out in your collection really quick. Best Acqua di Parma summer options. I'm not a big fan of Acqua di Parma. I'm going to keep it a stack with you. So I'm not the best reference for Acqua di Parma quite yet. I've put my nose to a few fragrances that I've reviewed on this channel, and I'm not a big fan of the house. But eventually I'll get a discovery set of Acqua di Parma to give them a second shot. Acqua di Parma has a lot of great fragrances. I'm just not a good reference for that house. I typically dance more in Byredo because I feel like Byredo and Acqua di Parma sit neck and neck in terms of their style of perfumery. So I know personally a lot more about Byredo fragrances than Acqua di Parma. So unfortunately I can't answer your summer frags from that house that are great to pick up. Will you be giving away any designer frags? I can. And in fact, a lot of these are designer. So absolutely, I'll give away designer frags. Again, I want to have like 20 winners 10 is easier to do because I'll pay a lot less shipping out to 10 people. I right now I'm weighing the cost of seeing how much it's going to cost me to ship out to 20 different individuals. I also want to let you guys know that anytime I do giveaways, it's USA only. We are not going to Canada, and we are not going anywhere else around the world. So it will be a US citizen only contest simply because of the shipping. No other bias to that at all. I would love to ship to you guys, but I'm not going to spend the price of 20, 30 bucks just to ship out to somebody out of the, for a 20 or $30 fragrance. It's just not going to happen. Spice Bomb Dark Leather versus Bulgari Black, similarities and differences. Dark Leather is a terrible fragrance. It's linear. It's copying a lot of fragrances. It smells like cheap leather. The performance is utterly horrendous. It goes away so fast and becomes a skin scent. Bulgari Black has way more complexity, way better projection, way better longevity. At this point, dark leather to me is not even worth $20. It smells good in the opening, but after you get past the opening, that fragrance breaks down and dismantles, and the DNA is not even that special. It is a cheap attempt at trying to get the Prada Luna Rossa Black and Bulgari Man in Black flavor, but it is so cheap it's not even funny. They're not even worth comparing. Anybody who has not smelled Bulgari Man in Black or Prada Luna Rossa Black will say that dark leather smells good, but it's simply because they haven't smelled anything else even close to it, because almost every fragrance that smells similar to dark leather for sure beats it in performance, and 9 times out of 10 beats it in complexity. I'm so sorry I'm coughing, guys. Take care, Joel. Thanks for being around, buddy. Is Afternoon Swim the one you were forgetting? Probably. I have smelled Afternoon Swim. Could never get into red tobacco. Me either. What up, Scent Bubble? I'm building a Yaman Lail Discovery set. So so far the cart has MFK and Oud Silk Mood, Initio Musk Therapy, Roja Dove Elysium. Can you suggest 2 more in depth and uniqueness? I can't off the top of my head. But I have 2 videos that I've dropped in the last 2 weeks reviewing 10 fragrances from Yaman Lail. So each video reviews 5 fragrances, and there are a couple of fragrances in there that I gave 9s out of 10s. Add all of the 9s out of 10s into your cart. I think one of them was the Chanel Allure Homme Sport rendition, was very nice, but I forget all the other ones that I ranked. Most of the Yaman Lail that I ranked received a 7 or an 8, and I think maybe only 30% of them got a 9. So just check those 2 videos out, and you'll absolutely have some recommendations for me. Tarathi Blue is a banger. I like it a lot. Yes. What was that Prada one you said versus red tobacco? Prada Luna Rossa Le L-E Parfum. It looks like any Prada Luna Rossa fragrance, except for it has red glass on the top. How do I enter one of these giveaways? I'll give you guys instructions followed by a video. So you'll see a community post on how to enter, and I'll also upload a video that says giveaway. So you will know how to enter. I'm going to have a couple of different cool ways to enter. It's not just going to be a random spin the wheel giveaway. We'll have a couple of those, but I'm also going to make it into a game where you guys have to solve riddles and stuff like that to get bigger prizes. What do you think of Perseus Exclusive by Alhambra? Pretty good. It's a pretty solid clone. Have you tried Offnon Supremacy in Oud? Yes, I don't think it's worth it. I think it's a little too synthetic. Offnon Supremacy Not Only Intense and Offnon Supremacy in Heaven are the 2 best Supremacy fragrance. Oh, and Offnon Supremacy Collector's Edition. Collector's Edition, Heaven, and Not Only Intense are the best from the entire Supremacy line. Everything else is just not worth the money to me. Yeah, yeah, Donnie, if you watched them, add the fragrances that I gave 9s to in the cart. The reason I gave fragrances 7s or 8s was because of a lack of accuracy or a lack of performance. Most of them were a lack of performance. Anything I gave a 9 smelled really close to the original and had a lot of performance. So I can comfortably say, if you go back to those videos or recall the ones I gave 9s to, those will be great additions to your cart. There are many variation. Wait, hold on. Oh yeah, absolutely, Donnie, anytime. There's many variations of Bulgari Black. Just off the note breakdown, it looks amazing. Yeah, but dude, the price, right? Like, you can get 100 ml of a Bulgari fragrance. I smelled everything from the Bulgari line in Neiman Marcus, and you guys will actually hear about that because tomorrow at 6 a.m., I'm dropping a video called I Went to Neiman Marcus, Here's What You Need to Know. And I smelled everything in the Bulgari line. And this is not a part of the main Tigar line that has all of the colored caps and all that. This is from the original line. The fact that you can get this fragrance that retails at like $200-300 for like $70 on Fragrance by CA is absolutely insane. And to me, when you talk about that Initio Oud for Greatness, Prada Luna Rosa Black, Black Orchid Tom Ford, DNA, even Mind Games Mentor, this is the best fragrance. It just is. $70, 100 ml, absolute steal. You shouldn't even think twice. Just buy it. Somebody in the chat blind bought it off my recommendation. Said he absolutely loves it. Oh, I think it was Assault. Blind bought Lamal Elixir and ended up loving it. But if you have any insights on any other Jean Paul fragrances I'd love to here are some suggestions. Oh gosh, I almost just rolled my ankle. I'm going to be honest, I'm not a fan of Jean Paul Gaultier. My favorite fragrance from their line is Lamal Elixir, which you now have. So congratulations, you have the best fragrance from the house. Maybe get Paradise Garden, but nowadays it doesn't even make sense to get Coral Fantasy or Paradise Garden because there are 2 phenomenal clones of them that just came out in the late 2024. So if you go on Google and type Paradise Garden clone or Coral Fantasy clone, I believe you'll see some Lattafa recommendations, and those will get you more than 90% in the door. So outside of that, listen, guys, Ultramale, Lamal, LeBeau, Ultramale, Lamal, LeBeau, no, not Lamal Elixir. Yeah, all those guys are okay fragrances. They're really good fragrances for teenagers and college kids. Beyond that, they're all terrible. Lamal Elixir smells so much more mature. And here's the other thing. Jean-Paul Gaultier suffers from an issue that not a lot of people talk about, and this is what it is. This is so true. There's Jean-Paul Gaultier fragrances that smell amazing that have terrible performance. And then the worst smelling ones have the best performance. So that's the big issue with the house. Not that the fragrances smell bad. It's always a performance issue, or the weaker, suckier smelling fragrances have the best performance. Lamal Elixir has the performance and the best smell. Point blank period. Paradise Garden, sorry, not Coral Fantasy. Paradise Garden is nice, but there's a clone that absolutely gets you in the door, so it's not even worth buying that anymore. Like any of the Dunhill Icon scents, they're okay. You know, they're great fragrances to have if you're a clone collector and you like buying cheaper fragrances under the $40 price point, but you'll get bored of them really quickly. Thoughts of Lamal, the all dark one, but I haven't smelled it yet, so no clue. Okay. Oh, gotcha. Assault. Yeah. See, Kale knows. Can you please recommend something similar to Supremacy and let me just say this one more time, guys. If you have these 2 fragrances right now, right here, if you have these 2 fragrances right here, there's really no need to mess with Jean Paul Gaultier at all, because you have Ultramale, And this is not like any of them, but it still has that tropical coconutty feel. So this might be like something between LeBeau and like Ultramel, or sorry, LeBeau and Lamal. Um, this is more interesting than the other ones, and you get all the performance. So like if you have these two, really the only Jean Paul Gaultier you need to buy is Lamal Elixir. But I'm gonna be honest with you, even Lamal Elixir now you don't need to buy, because I think Latafa Kingdom or Latafa Lionheart, one of those two is a Lamal Elixir clone, and it's like 10 out of 10. So you don't even need to buy Lamal Elixir. You can get these two and then Lamal Elixir, and then you pretty much have the entire Jean Paul Gaultier line, with the exception of Paradise Garden. And I think Latafa's got you covered on a great Paradise Garden clone. Any recommendations on perfume? Always looking for a wifey gift. She likes Escada and Dolce Light Blue. I think a real good no-brainer fragrance for women that is universally sought. Here's the thing. If your wife doesn't wear a lot of, I'm 36, so let's just throw that disclaimer out there. That's the vantage point I speak from. I have a beautiful wife. I have 2 kids, so I'm a family man. I've got a wife, but my wife doesn't like wearing a lot of different fragrances. She's worn the same like 2 fragrances her whole life, and she only recently started getting into expanding her palette because now she's a grown woman, and I, as a fragrance reviewer, am getting her interested in thinking about how she smells, because she normally has been rocking the same fragrances her whole life. So a lot of the problem with women's fragrances is like you have 2 scenarios. A woman who has a buttload of fragrances and doesn't really know what she likes. That's why she has 100 fragrances. But most women don't have a lot of fragrances. They might have 1 or 2 that kind of stand out to them from college or something, and they don't really have a deep bag of fragrances. So oftentimes they lean towards more natural smelling fragrances and not overly sweet bombs. Women who favor overly sweet fragrances typically are women who have more than 2 fragrances. They have a lot of different fragrances. They're all sweet and has a large collection of Bath and Body Works and all that. My wife's a sophisticated, beautiful looking woman. She don't like sweet fragrances. She likes natural smelling fragrances. One of the best natural, slightly sweet, earthy fragrances that you can get, by earthy I mean floral, is YSL Libre Eau de Parfum. In my experience, I've never met a woman who does not like YSL Libre Eau de Parfum. It is so easy to wear. If she's a light sprayer, it smells natural and angelic, white floral, slight sweet, slight powder. If you're a heavy sprayer, you can 6 to 8 spray it. It's absolutely phenomenal. It has great longevity if you want to up the sprays. It's a great fragrance that she can control the projection that she has, so she likes to wear light. It'll hug her close, you know what I'm saying? If she wants to go heavy, she can. And it's just so easy on the nose. It's got an expensive feel to it, so it has like a luxurious feel, but not being over the top, classy and luxurious, soft, angelic, natural. I've just never ran into a woman who doesn't like that fragrance. That is a mass appealing women's fragrance that is very signature. So I would start there. If your girl likes super sweet fragrances, she probably doesn't need your help finding another fragrance, because I've just found that women who are typically drawn towards extremely sweet fragrances kind of are already navigating the fragrance space or Bath and Body Works, and they've got plenty of options. So start with Libre. I'm actually reviewing the top 40 most worn female fragrances currently because my women audience is getting higher in this channel. So I feel led to include them. Now, most women that go to my channel are shopping for their kids or their boyfriend or their husband, or because I reviewed a unisex fragrance they were considering. But I'm trying to go the extra mile and do several women's fragrances. I think another incredible fragrance for women, if you've got the money, is Bond Number 9's New York Flowers. Incredible, natural, projective, heavenly fragrance for women that smells really upscale,
easy on the skin. She's not going to be so loud that she's overwhelming herself or other people, but very expensive, well-made formula that lasts long. Um, so yeah, Libre and New York Flowers is a great place to start. But you know, with women, women are picky, so you might want to just get those in decants and say, "Hey, honey, what do you think about these decants?" And then if she likes that, then gift her the bottle later on. What about most wanted lines? So the best most wanted fragrances is Wanted by Night Parfum and the Most Wanted Parfum. I don't mess with any other wanteds. Thank you for the like recommendation, Donnie. I appreciate it, buddy. The 9 p.m. I picked up nearby and returned it to me for some reason. Smelled like if I went inside an Uber driver's car leather. That's a weird description. This I don't wear this, by the way. The only reason I showed this on camera is because a lot of kids reached out to me and wanted me to review it. But this is the best like 20-year-old and under fragrance in the Gaultier line because you can get this for $11 to $20. It's a monster performer, 12 hours plus, and you get into the Jean Paul DNA. The only way I would say this could smell like going inside of a cab or an Uber is if you've got a guy with leather seats and he's got like a vanilla tree car freshener in his mirror, or like a coconut one, and you get like a tropical feel, but it's not coming from the car, it's coming from the tree. So there's no leather to speak of in this fragrance. Yeah. Kids, teenagers, and college kids absolutely love 9 p.m. unanimously. But I don't wear it. But for kids that love Jean Paul Gaultier, they love to find out that they can get something in that wheelhouse that is an amazing performer for $10 to $20. So that's why I talk about it on my channel. I don't only recommend fragrances on my channel that I personally love. I try to break a fragrance down to see why other people might love it, and that's why people like my reviews, is because as biased as I am, I'll always provide a balanced review that people can make good decisions for themselves as to what they would like. Yeah, Kale, if your sister has 63 frags, she don't need a man recommending fragrances to her. In fact, it would probably piss her off. But a lot of women that have 63 frags, they're not really fragrances, they're like body sprays. You know, they Bath and Body work it out or go to like Macy's and stuff and kind of design her out. So I find that a lot of women that have like more than 20 fragrances don't have any niche fragrances. They pretty much exclusively are designer or body sprays and stuff like that. Burberry Goddess for women. I'm not familiar with that. My fiance fell in love with Queen of Silk, and I can't get her to wear anything else. I feel you, bro. Queen of Silk ain't bad, man. Queen of Silk is not bad. I just smelled that like 3 weeks ago. It's not bad, but, you know, give her some Bond Number 9 New York Flowers, man. Tell her to freshen it up. Some other great fragrances for women is go to a Neiman Marcus and have her smell the Chanel exclusive line. There's over 50 fragrances in the exclusive Chanel line, and they're all unisex. A lot of them are feminine leaning. And man, there's some of the best easy to wear fragrances for women, just very high quality. I think any woman shopping niche should start with Chanel exclusive line only. Start there, get your fragrance game up, and then from there maybe pivot to like Bond Number 9 or like Xerjoff. Yeah. You are sick with the knowledge, dude. Really appreciate your time. Any recommendations on websites, or do you have one where there's a good place to shop other than the mall? Yeah, absolutely, Seth. So #1 website right now to shop on is fragrancebuy.ca. .ca just means Canada. It's a Canadian-based website. The reason I shop there is because across the board, clones, dupes, inspireds, designer, and niche fragrances, they hold all of it. They're a massive warehouse. They have the lowest prices on any fragrance, hands down. And you collect points as you buy fragrances that can get you free shipping and additional fragrances and stuff like that. But most importantly, they have the lowest prices, and their shipping is typically 5 to 7 business days. So their shipping is really impeccable. But the prices, you cannot beat the prices. Their prices are insane. And they show you the retail price and how much it's being chopped. Every other website you go to will look like you're getting a discount, but you're really not, because every website has them. FragranceBuy.ca has the lowest prices out of all these guys consistently across the board. So FragranceBuy.ca, best place to go. Secondary sites, places like Joma Shop, Max Aroma, um, Fragrance Net. But to me, you should be able to find 99% of the fragrances you're looking for on FragranceBuy.ca. Don't be intimidated that it's in Canadian. They convert the coin from Canadian to USD when you pay using a PayPal account or even a credit card. So definitely convert it to see like what you're actually paying. But if you go to the website, you can hit USD, so it'll transition all the currency to USD. And even if you wind up paying in CAD, I mean, it's USD. They convert it all for you. But their prices are insane. So FragranceBuy.ca. When I was a teen, it was all about BOD, and for the girls, it was Love Spell. Oh, interesting. Now hers are all like Tiffany, Jean Paul Gaultier, Dior, Valentino. Yeah, designers. I said either designers or body sprays. Girl wearing Tommy Girl always turned my head. That's hilarious. A lot of girls when I was growing up were wearing Coach. Yeah, Coach. Queen of Silk is one of the more feminine takes on Oud from what I remember. Yeah. She has a Chanel, Dolce & Gabbana, and all those designers. Jake, I have Miss Dior EDP 20 ml for sale if you want Rollerball, if she's interested. Oh yeah, I got to the bottom of the list. Okay, guys, I'm going to be back. I'm going to be on for like another 5 minutes. I'm going to give you 1 minute to type out all your questions because, I'm sick, so I'm trying to roll out of here. Let me know any last minute questions you guys have. Flood the chat. I'm going to go get a drink real quick, and then I'll be right back. All right. Latafa Al Neshama Caprice YSL Blue Electric Clone. Thoughts accurate. I can't speak to it as far as my personal nose memo, but I'm pretty sure it's like 80 to 85% close from my peers who have reviewed it. I'm not a fan of that Valentino fragrance, Fendi. What fragrance is lower shelf gold top? This? Oh, same shelf as Comra. Where the hell's Comra? Oh, gold top? Oh, this one? How do you guys even see that low? This one? I don't see any other gold tops down there. I was Miss Dior EDP rollerball. Oh, gotcha. Donnie, is it this fragrance right here? It's a good top, the gold top towards the back. The only other gold tops down here, buddy, is these. So you tell me, gold top or white top? Otherwise, you're misnaming them because there's no gold tops down there. Oh, Kismet, yeah. Yeah, so Kismet's awesome. However, I finally just reviewed a fragrance today that beats Tarathi Brown and Kismet for the best YSL Tuxedo clone. So the Tuxedo clones have been dethroned by this clone right here. Never thought I would say it, guys, but without question, this is at least 15 to 20% better than Tarathi Brown and Kismet. It is called, it's from the house of Arabiat, so Arabiayat, and it is called Nayel, Nayel, Nayel Oud. Can we get some? Here we go. So Arabiat, Nayel Oud. This right here, guys, is the sickest tuxedo clone I have smelled. Now, one thing I will say, is if you're under 25, buy Kismet. $20 on Amazon. This is a phenomenal choice still. But if you want the full package of tuxedo, and the reason why I age gap it is because the complexity that comes with this fragrance that I just showed you has a masculine component that young people probably shouldn't even go towards. But if you're 25 and up, this is miles ahead of Kismet and Tarathi Brown, without question. I mean, it is so much more photo real to tuxedo and so much more masculine. Kismet and Tarathi Brown are more true unisex fragrances. They lean on the booze. This leans on patchouli. There's a huge amount of patchouli in this. More spicy. Dude, this is like, oh, this is basically the Creed Aventus of tuxedo DNA. Not Creed Aventus meaning pineapple. Not Creed Aventus meaning like meaning anything like the DNA of Creed Aventus. I'm just saying with Creed Aventus, you get this very masculine woodiness and smokiness and birchiness under the pineapple DNA. And similarly, this is like Kismet and Tarathi Brown, but with this really rich, woody underbelly that is like slightly spicy rather than smoky. And it smells like tuxedo, but it's like, this smells so niche, it's not even funny. Very well done. That has dethroned Tarathi Brown. Which oud from MFK do you prefer? Okay, so I wouldn't really listen to my advice because I'm a 36-year-old man, and unless you're around my age, you won't really understand why I prefer it. So obviously, Oud Satin Mood is the hype beast, right? I don't need Oud Satin Mood, even though I have it over there in the corner off this shelf. You don't need it. You can just get Oud Satin from Ministry of Oud because it's like 99% the same thing. But I'm going to be honest. Oud Satin Mood is not my favorite rose. It's not my favorite rose rendition of a fragrance. I actually prefer Initio's Atomic Rose. There's another rose fragrance I just came across recently that just kills it. I don't prefer Portrait of a Lady by Frederick Malle. Anyways, I say all that to say this. I'm quite bored of the Rose Oud DNA because I've already found my Rose Oud fragrance that I love. And for that reason, when I recently went back to Neiman's, I was actually very much a bigger fan of Oud Silk Mood. I think it's the more masculine fragrance, and I think it's the more interesting fragrance, and it's the more versatile fragrance. I think Oud Satin Mood is a date night fragrance only. Oud Silk Mood feels like I could tux out, semi-formal, formal, upscale, casual. I just think Oud Silk Mood is phenomenal, but I don't think anybody can wear it. Like, it's a 30 and up fragrance. I don't think anybody under 30 should be wearing Oud Silk Mood. If you're under 30, you should probably mess with something like Amorous Extrait. Or even that fragrance that has, it's Aqua Media. It's the green juice. I like Amorous way more than I like Aqua Media, but Aqua Media and Amorous are like the 30 and down fragrances. Like if you want a really, really upscale niche fresh fragrance, those are great picks. I prefer Amorous Extrait version, and I actually have it over there. But if you're 30 and up, Oud Silk Mood is the best Oud without question. Yeah, I mean, Rose and Oud is very much a cheat code, and not cheat code in a good way. I mean cheat code like it's what everybody does, right? Rose and Oud. And because of that, everything is so close to each other. It's really hard to enjoy a journey with Rose because of that. I'm also getting Ormond Jane's Taif, which has a Taif rose as opposed to Bulgarian and Turkish rose. So I'm really excited to put my nose to that because I think that that's going to be better than Oud Satin Mood as well. But yeah, it's Rose and Oud is like vanilla and cinnamon. Everybody does it. Or like vanilla and tobacco. Everybody does it. So it's so boring to even come across that note pairing. All right, guys, I got a lemon here. I got my hydrogen water. And we are going to sprinkle lemon juice into the hydrogen water. And we are going to let that clear the system. I'm 28 this month. I'm going to try and pull off Oud Silk Mood as a special occasion frag. Hey, Donnie, if you're 28, you could definitely pull it off. You just have to dress the part, you know? I don't think... If you wear jeans, man, don't wear blue jeans. Like, switch up the color. You know what I'm saying? Go gray or khaki or brown or black jeans so they're a little bit more fitted, and a collared shirt. But honestly, I think Oud Silk Mood, you need to be dressed up even more than that. But that's like the bare minimum. It's not a blue jean fragrance. Wear a different color of jeans that are fitted and not super baggy, and a collared shirt, and you'll be just fine, you know. That's like the bare minimum dress code. And then after that, semi-formal wear, you know, dress shirt, anything like that, tux even. all that and everything in between is a good shot for Oud Silk Mood. Oud Silk Mood is so serious. But surprisingly, here's another take. If you don't want to buy Oud Silk Mood because of the price, a really close fragrance to Oud Silk Mood is, you're not going to believe me because of the name, is Salvatore Ferragamo's Red Leather. Sorry guys, I was going to get Red Leather so I could remind myself if I was giving a good recommendation. Yeah, it's close, dude. It's it's basically there without the oud. Yeah, if you want like a cheap alternative that still smells really expensive and niche compared to Oud Silk Mood, try Salvatore Ferragamo Red Leather. It is in the wheelhouse. It smells extremely expensive. It's got the same dark feel, dark fresh feel. I would almost combine this with like Oud for Glory. Gosh dang it, I just sprayed Oud for frickin' Glory on my hands. Now I gotta go take 5 showers. Oh, that right there. Oh man, I gotta write that down. Notes. Oud for Glory comboed with Ferragamo Red Leather. That's how you get your oud. That's how you get your oud, guys. You want your Oud Silk Mood? Go 1-to-1 Red Leather on top of Oud for Glory from Lattafa. Wow, that's so close. Oh my gosh. I have my Oud Silk Mood. Hold on. Wow, that's scary. Okay. Oh man. Wow. You actually have to go 2-to-1. 2-to-1 ratio. Two Red Leather on top of Oud for Glory. And you've got a really good. Wow. That's incredible. 2-to-1. 2 Red Leather on top of 1 Oud for Glory, and you double it if you need. So 4 Red Leather with 2 sprays of Oud for Glory. That's gonna be a 12-hour fragrance, but it gets you about 95%. Thank you, Keegs. I bought 17Q11 Aventus. It's so gas. Hey, excellent, man. That's beautiful. What does Honor and Glory smell like? Creme brulee and white flowers. Sweet dessert and white florals. I don't really think it's very masculine. A lot of men love it. To me, if you like Honor and Glory at all, or that note profile, like I'm a 36-year-old man. I always make this joke and walk really close to the screen and say, does it look like when you walk up to a guy like me, you're going to smell creme brulee? No, right? If you like that DNA, or that DNA even seems like it might tickle your fancy, skip it and go with this. A lot of people ask me what Honor and Glory smells like because they think this is Honor and Glory, and it's not. This is Fragrance World's. This is Fragrance, or French Avenue, which is Fragrance World's Glorious Oud Royal Blanc Extrait. And this is cloning. This is cloning Initio's Musk Therapy. This fragrance and Musk Therapy smells way, 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 way better and more masculine than Honor and Glory. Honor and Glory is what boys wear who like sweet fragrances. Musk Therapy is sweet, but it's not overkill dessert sweet. It's very musky, but it's very fresh white floral as well in the same vein. White florals and musk, no dessert. So you keep your manhood wearing this fragrance. About 30, 40 bucks on Triple Traders. Incredible fragrance, guys. Like, this is going to be in my top 10 best clones of 2025 without question. Without question. Jack of Clubs is okay, man. I give it a 7, Veta. Are alt fragrances worth it? No. I'm just now starting to see the hierarchy of which inspiration houses are better than others. Shout out to Kicks. There's a lot of inspiration houses to consider. Dua, Alexandria, Dapper, Kingsgate, Sensual Obsessions, Essential Parfums. There's a Yaman Lail. There's a lot of inspiration houses. And right now, I'm currently in the testing phase of evaluating all of them because I'm writing several ebooks for the fragrance community. And one of them will be best inspiration houses from best to worst. And I will write why, and I'll put the best fragrances from each house. And it'll be a good time. Alt is at the bottom of the list. Do you know any clone that is close to YSL Blue Electrique? Yes, I do, but I wouldn't recommend it. I wouldn't recommend the two Blue Electrique clones that are out there right now. I don't think they're close enough. They're about 80%, but Blue Electrique is a very specific DNA. I wouldn't get them yet. I don't think that there's a stellar Blue Electrique clone yet available that smells like 90% or better. To me, if you're buying a clone, it should be 90% or better. What fragrance smells like a bar? Right here. Best tobacco fragrance of all time, and I hate tobacco. This beats Tobacco Vanille. This beats Le Male Elixir. This beats Angel Share. The vibe of this fragrance, and I haven't done my review yet, but the vibe of this fragrance is you're in Manhattan. A limo cab just dropped you off. You tell your driver to take the rest of the night off. You are at your penthouse, right? You're in Manhattan. You're leathered out. And you go into the first floor of your condominium building, which is 50 floors. Every apartment there or condo starts at about $15,000 a month, okay? It's a late night, it's raining, you're leathered out, you walk into there after a long day. And as you walk into the lobby, there's a guy sitting down with his legs crossed, puffing on $1,000 cigars. And he's blowing smoke everywhere. To the right of that is an open bar, and there is a girl in an all-black dress with an all-white mink on. And she's pissed because she found out her husband's cheating on her. And she's at the bar tossing back cups of brandy. They got brandy and cognac poured out for her. She's just drinking there, pissed off in her fur coat, ready to get her prowl on. And then you get to the front desk, you check in, and they escort you over to your elevator. And as you're walking towards your elevator, a guy gets out of the elevator and he's got cognac in a glass. He's been drinking on the rooftop penthouse. And as soon as he gets out, he's not even looking up. He runs and he just pours, his cup empties, and cognac goes all over you. I'm talking your face, your coat, your whole body. You just get splattered with cognac, drenched. That is what this fragrance smells like. You get the freshest, most photoreal, cigar smoky, fresh leaf tobacco, pipe tobacco. You get the seductive sweetness of vanilla and incense and frankincense and myrrh. So it's got a kind of resinous, cinnamon, vanillic undertone that's unlike any of the other vanilla and spice fragrances, because all those fragrances are 70-30 leaning heavily in vanilla. Only 20 or 30% of this fragrance is that vanilla cinnamon. Most of this fragrance is the tobacco, the myrrh resin, the amber, and the cognac that is drenched all over this fragrance. The amazing thing is they could have stopped there and they would have beat out Tobacco Vanille from Tom Ford, Ebony Fume from Tom Ford, Jean-Paul Gaultier Le Male Elixir, Angel Share, Night on the Rocks, any of those. But no, they take it up another notch and say, you know what? We've got the liquid cognac, rum aspect of it. We got the ashy tobacco. We got the luxurious vanilla and myrrh resin. You know what? Let's put a crazy freshness to project all those notes into the air. And what do? They put papyrus, green, fresh papyrus over the mid. What do they do to pop the top? They put mint on the top. So this fresh green element is over the top of the cognac. And so you get the tobacco, you get the myrrh, you get the vanilla, you get the cinnamon, you get the rum. But then you get, or actually I think it's cognac, I forget, it's cognac or rum, same thing, dark liquor. And then you get the bergamot and the mint and the papyrus, which just dances over the top and gives so much swag and energy to this fragrance. This is the best fragrance ever, guys. I don't wear tobacco. I'm not a fan. Most tobacco fragrances and resinous fragrances simply don't speak to me because they smell so generic. This is a conversation starter. This is a manhood rite of passage for all you young boys. Even if this is too much for you as a young boy, you're going to get to an age where you will use every bit of this juice once it makes sense for you. Oh, you guys see how many times I keep opening the cap. And it's just sexy as crap to have this on your shelf. It's got so many conversation points and journey, and the liquor smells so real and the tobacco smells so real. You smell it and it takes you to a place in time. So does this smell like a bar? Sure. But it more so smells like a scene out of a movie. All right. I'm done with my rant, guys. You guys know me. I'm passionate. Is there one with a beer smell? No, I haven't come across anything with beer. Typically in fragrance, when you're dealing with alcohol notes, you're dealing with rum, cognac, vodka, bourbon. There are some liqueurs, like they have like appletini liqueur. They have like absinthe as a note, but no beer notes. And I think it's hard to pull off because similar to cannabis, it's hard to get those notes without coming off resinous. So like I'll give you an example. When I was in college 27 years ago or whatever, every time you'd go into a dorm room, every dorm room would smell like Heineken because the acidity from the beer would just kind of cake into the walls. It didn't matter if you were drinking Natty Ice, Pabst Blue Ribbon, Bud Light, Coors Light. Um, I'm forgetting my beers here. Heineken's, um, or you were drinking dark beers, you know what I'm saying? Or something of draft. It would just stick to the walls, and every dorm room, every apartment you would go to just had that college dorm room smell like the next day after, right? And that's in fragrance when you do the beer accord. A lot of times you smell like this backdoor yeasty vibe from it. And similarly with cannabis, a lot of times cannabis fragrances suck because you get this beautiful chronic gas kush top, but then on the dry down, you get more of like the doobie resin that's left over, which is like this bitter, briny bite. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just gross. It's funky. The best cannabis fragrance of all time, though, as of right now, is Born to Stand Out's Mary Jane. I just did a review on it. I don't smoke weed. There was time when I was young, I tried smoking weed a few different ways. It wasn't for me, thank God. But I have plenty of memories of being around weed smoke. And Born to Stand Out's Mary Jane is the freshest, best commercial take on cannabis I have ever smelled, with amazing performance and beautiful citric notes and vetiver, and it is just a monstrous fragrance. However, if you wear it, you might go to jail for a night because if you go to school with it, they're going to send you to the principal's office. If you go to college with it, they're going to make sure it's a legal state. You know, if you're an adult wearing it, you might go in for questioning. You know what I'm saying? Like I mean, it is straight gas in the most beautiful way possible. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Easily beats Lamal Elixir and Angel Share. Unless you're under 25, then you will prefer those because you like vanilla more. Best clone house right now in 2025 in the US is Fragrance World. However, they don't have enough inventory to really stay with them a lot. You have to go Armaf or Latafa as the biggest houses, or Maison Alhambra. Those have the biggest selection right now. But as far as houses that make clones that smell like what it's cloning and quality and all that, and in terms of having the most successful fragrances, I think Fragrance World or French Avenue is in the runs to be some of the best, but they just need to step their inventory up. Yeah, I know, Donnie. I know. It's you guys' fault. Yeah, Fendi, you'll love Man in Black. Ombre Noir, I'm going to tell you, it's challenging. If you're a grown man, you got to have it. If you're 25 and down, I don't know if you're ready for it yet. Again, this is the realest tobacco you're going to smell. This is the realest resin you're going to smell. This is the realest cognac you're going to smell. If you're a young kid, it doesn't make sense for you to smell like tobacco, cigars, and cognac. And because of that, don't try to wear it. If you're a grown man, though, and you want a fragrance you can wear into any hotel, any rainy day, any billiards, any nightlife, this is sex in a bottle for anything cinnamon, vanilla, cigar, cigarette, pipe, liquor. I mean, dude, I can't believe this smells so niche. It's a $40, $50 fragrance that smells so expensive. It's crazy. Yeah, Ombre Noir from Lalique. I mean, this is easily the best designer fragrance of 2025 to me so far. I mean, you guys see how much juice is gone. I just got this fragrance like, and I live in Arizona. It's hard to pull this off in Arizona heat. Thank God it's been raining so much. But like, look at the juice. I just got this like last month. And I wear a new fragrance every single day. Like, it's scary good. Yeah, man. I mean, dude, I mean, you guys know me, man. Like, I give good reviews even to fragrances I wouldn't recommend that you buy, but you guys always know when I love a fragrance. Like, because it's going to come with a story, it's going to come with overkill talking. You're going to see me do this every 4 seconds. Like imagine like there's no reason to do this if it smells the same every time you put your nose to it. But every time I put my nose to it, I get something different. I get tobacco, I get mint, I get papyrus, I get cinnamon, I get frankincense and myrrh, I get bergamot. I like you just yo, like I want to pour this in a shot glass and drink it. It's just like, and when you first get it in the mail and smell it, you're gonna be like, you're gonna spray it, and you're gonna be like, okay, 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 okay. It smells good, but it's pretty simple. And then you're gonna let it sit on your skin and just sit in your house on a couch and just start investigating it in the air. And just like let it be in the air, put it on a test strip, put it on your arm, let it float around, and you are just gonna like, and look at the notes, and you're just gonna be like, God dang, this is crazy. If you go to try and compare this to something like Lamal Elixir or Red Tobacco or Tom Ford Tobacco Vanille or Charuto or frickin' what's the other one? Like, bro, they don't even touch this. Ebony Fume, Tom Ford. Like, yo. Even Angel Share, like the thing I've always hated about Angel Share is it's unisex. It's so holidayed out, but the thing that saves it is the cognac note makes it feel a little bit more masculine. If it didn't have a cognac note, it'd be a feminine fragrance, but the cognac saves it because that alcohol note makes you feel more like a man. It's manly enough, but it's still a perfectly unisex fragrance. You want that fragrance, you want Angel Share, but most men, if it was a more masculine take on Angel Share, would prefer that more masculine take because it's so holiday unisex. This is that, you know? But it's a slightly different vibe than Angel Share. Angel Share is like holiday, Thanksgiving, fall, winter, sweet, slight gourmand. There's nothing gourmand about this at all. But they use the same dark liquor note in Angel Share as they do with this fragrance, but everything else is different. My gosh. My gosh. And I'm excited, guys. I'm excited. This is what we're dealing with next. Y'all saw this. Y'all saw this on the community page. We are reviewing an entire house. This is from Paris. This is a Tot Libre's whole line, and we are reviewing all of this. And that I'm really excited to dive into next. We are really going to just sit down and say, we're going to do a power ranking, top 20. And then we got a buttload of new decants in. So once I'm done with all that, then I got a lot of niche fragrances that I need to buy. Okay, I'm only 22, but would probably fall in love with it. All right, Assault. Hey, here's the thing. If you don't love it, At some point in your lifetime, you will absolutely love it. The bottle looks amazing. It's cool to have on the shelf. It's a sexy fragrance. It might not make sense for you at this time, but if it does, you're going to love it. Um, it's in that category, it can't be beat. Do tester bottles smell the same as the original fragrance? Yes. I'm 19. Reserve Privé is something I own, but I don't wear often due to the whiskey note. It's sexy though. Fendi, if the whiskey note throws you off in Reserve Privé, this is going to be your better date night fragrance. You ready? Narciso Rodriguez Bleu Noir Le Parfum. Picture Dior Homme Intense with Bleu de Chanel. It is a seductive, sweet iris fragrance similar to Reserve Privé, but they blued it the heck out. It is so good. $50, 100 ml. Insane fragrance. One of the best date night fragrances of all time. If you hate Dior Homme Intense because you don't like lipstick and powderiness and all that, don't worry. Go Bleu Noir Le Parfum. Insane fragrance. Narciso Rodriguez Bleu Noir Le Parfum. Don't get the original. Get the blue bottle. The completely blue bottle. Blue Narciso Rodriguez Bleu Noir Le Parfum. Absolutely, Omar. I can't wait. All right, guys, listen. I love y'all. I really do got to go now. I got to sign off. If I didn't answer any questions that you had, I ran over them. Copy paste them in the comment section of this live when it goes offline. I will answer it within 24 hours. You're gonna want to stay tuned this week. I have the most diverse content coming out this week. Ton of different collaborations, giveaways coming, a lot of content coming, guys. Tomorrow morning, I dropped the episode titled, I Went to Neiman Marcus, Here's What You Need to Know. So I teach you what you need to know to get the most samples and to really be able to walk into a Neiman Marcus confidently when you're dealing with security guards and big niche products, and how to walk out of there with a lot of samples without paying a single dollar. But anyways, love y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in. Really appreciate the interaction. It's the only reason you guys get me to stay up as long as I do. And yeah, love y'all, man. Y'all have a blessed night. Till next time, Scent Bubbles signing out.